Hey guys, James with Torches and Tactical, and today we're looking at the first lantern on the channel. Now, I know the SC02 had a small diffused lens, but I'm not going to consider that a lantern. The SC03 from Sofirn, however, is going to give you a lot more bang for the buck because it's a dual purpose. That's right, it has a reflector in there with an SST40 as well as that lens for lantern capabilities. So very, very cool. Frankly, unlike anything I've ever seen before, and I'm excited to show you guys what this thing can do and what it's capable of and how to do it. So before I get into all those specifications, let's just go ahead and take a look inside the box. Now, I did order this on Amazon, so it does have that, but if you order from Sofirn, you're going to get this box here without the ugly sticker. Inside there is just a little bubble wrap bag, and that's going to keep the light safe. There was a battery isolator in typical Sofirn fashion, and then there's just a little piece of foam down here at the bottom. But we'll get that out of the way. And then you have a little indicator tag that was wrapped around the base of the light when it came in. All that's going to say is remove that little indicator that we just saw in the box. There we go. Get rid of that as well. Then you have a USB-A to USB-C cable. Oh, hold on, here we go. There we go. USB-C, USB-A on the other side, but I already have one set aside, so I'm not going to worry about unwrapping this one. Then you also have a small bag with a generic lanyard as well as a couple O-rings in case yours break or you just feel like swapping them after so long. And then you have your user manual. Now, this is probably going to be one thing that you want to hang on to and want to look at again, just because with all the different features that this gives you, you're going to want to make sure that you know how to use this to the best of your abilities. Now, I'm not saying it's difficult, so don't get scared, but it does take a little bit of nuanced use before you finally have it figured out perfect. So let's go ahead and get all that out of the way. And now I can't wait to tell you that this is capable of 2,000 lumens and 508 meters of throw. Yeah, that's right. So you get a lantern and a light that gives you 508 meters of throw, all from that luminous SST40. And if you like those candela ratings, that comes to 64,417 candela. So in addition to that turbo mode of 2,000 lumens, you do also get a high mode of 1,000 lumens. You get a medium of 350 and a low of 10 lumens. So that 10 lumen low mode will give you 150 hours of use. And that's all from this top SST40. You do also get a ring of LEDs around here for the side light, or the lantern if you will. And that's capable of 550 lumens in turbo, high of 200 lumens, medium of 50, and a low of 2 lumens. That 2 lumen low mode here, it's going to give you over 10 days of use, actually just a little over 11 days, 270 hours total. Now it is all powered by a Sofirn 21700 cell, and this whole thing comes in at 149 millimeters in length, as well as 44.5 millimeters at the top of the reflector. So this is also 135 grams without the battery, IPX8 water resistant rated, and drop resistant rated to 1 meter. Now with that ABS lens on here, frankly, you're probably not going to want to act like this is a Molotov cocktail or anything. So just keep that in mind. But now getting into the light, I'm really excited about being able to show you this one. So here you have that black aluminum bezel, and that bezel is going to protect your glass lens, and it's also going to help protect that side lens here, or your lantern lens, if you will. So that lantern lens, if you notice, this reflector comes down, but it comes in a little more narrow than the width of this lantern lens. So you actually have a small cone sitting inside here with a ring of LEDs around it. So that's how you're able to get that center light, as well as the ring of LEDs that light up this lantern head. So really, really cool design. I'm super excited about that. But it does step down, and frankly, that's where all the design cues kind of go out the window. From here on down to the tail cap, it is just a solid line. So you do have your Sofirn style switch. It is locked out right now, but you do have your Sofirn style switch. Very used to seeing that one. 180 degrees of that. You do have a very thick rubber cap for your USB-C charging, and I will show you all that charging plus a little trick up its sleeve here in just a second. But you have that USB-C charging port, Underneath that, you have all your governmental signage, 180 degrees or right under that switch, Sofirn SC03. Now, I don't know why Sofirn does this, but the SC03 is a slightly different size font than Sofirn. I would have preferred to see that uniform, frankly, but ultimately that doesn't matter. So then you have that long, no knurling, no design, no cues, no nothing on that battery tube that houses that 21700 cell. And then you have the tail cap. Now the tail cap does step out quite a bit. Reminds me a little bit of an elephant's hoof or foot. I don't know what they're called, but reminds me a little bit of the foot of an elephant. And you know, it branches out pretty wide. You see a little bit of the toenail there, but that opens up. You do also have that lanyard provision if you want to use it as a, well, if you want to keep a lanyard on this to keep it protected. But we can take this off and you can see those anodized square cut threads, very well oiled, lubricated O-rings. Then you have your Sofirn 21700 cell coming in at 5,000 milliamp hours. This is a flat top cell. It is actually also a little inset, so keep that in mind as well. You have a very wide spring in that tail cap, not a lot of spring resistance, but you also have that spring up front that gives you a little more resistance, so I wouldn't really worry about it. But there is no magnet in that tail cap, so you don't have to, or you won't be able to use this as like a magnetic work light, but you know, with two very distinct purposes, I don't know if you really need to throw it in there for a third option, you know, keeping that as a work light, but it works really, really well for what it's intended. So getting into the user interface, it does have an auto lockout, and that auto lockout is, it does require 2 quick presses in order to disengage. So 1, 2, there we go. 2 presses, it did disengage, and it's shining out that deep orange peel reflector now. And from here, a simple long press off and a long press on. And if you want to switch modes in order to turn on this lantern side or the side light, you just do a quick double press. There we go. So now it operates as a lantern, and don't worry, I will show you guys how this works outside. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that off for a second. Now, if I turn it back on, I'm going to go ahead and switch directly over to the out the front mode, or flashlight mode, if you will. So let's go ahead and long press, double press. There we go. And from here, you can change brightness settings just by clicking the button one more time. And then if you want to go into strobe from either mode, so whether it's in flashlight mode or lantern mode, you can do 3 presses. There you go. You got your strobe mode. I'm going to go ahead and do that again. And now when it's off, if you want to go ahead and check that battery indicator that is in this battery or in that switch, you can go ahead and press it and it will illuminate for 5 seconds. As far as that battery indicator goes, if it's green like it is here, it's between 70 and 100% battery. If it's red, it's between 30 and 69% battery. And if it's flashing red, it's under 30. So either grab another 21700 cell or get to that USB-C cord. So one more time, you can go ahead and click on that switch to activate the battery check state. And then let's go ahead and long press to turn it on, long press to turn it off, just so we're fully aware how to work that. And again, when it is on, just a quick double press and it will enter flashlight mode. So this, I'm going to show you now that you can get a strobe from that flashlight as well. And you can also just do quick presses to change the brightness settings on that. So again, one thing to keep in mind is that when the light is off, you can do another double press and that will activate that lockout, or wait 1 minute and it will automatically activate. So there is one more feature I want to tell you about before we get this outside, and that is this USB-C port. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my battery bank over here.
One eternity later.
All right, we're back with the power bank, and we have our other cord, the one that came with the Sofirn package. So let's go ahead and plug this in now to show you. So you have that USB-C port, very thick rubber cover. Let's go ahead and turn that on. And here you go, you have a flashing red. And it's flashing red right now, but it will switch over to green as soon as that battery is complete. And in addition to that, If you have a USB-C to C cord, you can go ahead and plug that in here, because this 21700 cell, with all the brains that they shoved into this thing, they also gave you the option of having reverse charging. So you can use this as a portable 21700 cell power bank. So I think that's really, really fantastic. It seems like they put a lot of thought into the usability. Seems like they put a lot of thought into exactly what people might want from a lantern. You know, instead of just having a lantern, you get so much more than that with this. But now I want to take this outside so you can see just how well that 508 meters shines out from that SST40, as well as that ring of LEDs here inside the lantern head. I want to show you guys what 550 lumens looks like from the Sofirn SC03. So let's get outside and do that. All right, guys, tonight we are outside with the Sofirn SC03. Now I already have it in low mode, but I'll go ahead and hit that button once. Here we have medium, high, and one more is turbo. So that's all 2000 lumens from the SST40 and that really, really deep reflector. So I have no problems at all believing that this hits 508 meters. And I'll go ahead and go back into low mode real fast. And if I do a double press, so pretty bright, but I will walk out there and I want to show you guys what this looks like in lantern mode. So now we're in 2 lumen lantern mode. Then I'll turn it up. Here's 50 lumens, 200 lumens, and then 500 lumens. Now I'll go ahead and hit that strobe. There we go. So 550 lumens on strobe in lantern mode. Now I want to go ahead and cut this over. Okay, so this here is strobe in flashlight mode. All right, now that we've seen the Sofirn SC03 or SC03, let's get back inside. All right, guys, we went outside and we took a look at what the Sofirn SC03 is capable of. That SST40 with that really, really deep reflector, giving you 508 meters of throw, in addition to that ring of LED lights inside the lantern head. Frankly, I think it's really, really cool. There's a ton of ingenuity that went into this, being able to get that long range as well as that immediate flood around you for, focusing as a lantern. I really think that the amount of ingenuity that went into this is really nice. I do kind of want to see this with an SFT40, frankly. A 50-50 LED swapping over to an SFT40 should give you a little bit more range. And even if this had a smooth reflector, it'd be really cool to see. Now, I don't know where I'd be able to find this size reflector, so if you guys have any ideas, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. However, as it is, it works really, really well. As I stated earlier, there are a bit of nuances to this user interface that aren't anywhere else out there. So if you do get the SC03, I highly recommend hanging on to that user manual for a little bit, just until you have it down pat. So guys, tell me what you think down in the comments below of the Sofirn SC03. If you like it, if you love it, if you hate it, if you're completely indifferent, just let me know what you think. Frankly, I know next time we go outside and go camping on the property, we're going to go ahead and take this with us, and I'm super excited about it. So thank you guys so much for being here with me. If you could like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. It helps us grow, and it gets more lights in here for us to be able to review to you. And when you subscribe, click on that bell. That way you guys know exactly when we're getting a new light for review or when we start a giveaway. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.